If you want to get high, let's meditate.
Hey guys, Andrew McFarlane here from StartAJuiceBar.com, and I wanted to do a video today talking about the juice truck business and the pros and the cons. This question comes up a lot for good reason. I understand why a lot of you out there are curious if you should start your business with some sort of truck or mobile cart as opposed to just diving into having a store. So I just want to talk about some of the benefits and then some of the downsides as well that you want to think about. So first we'll start with the bad news, some of the negative aspects of having this kind of business, and then we will move into some of the more positive aspects. So the first thing that I want to talk about is when you have a juice truck, you have limited amount of space. You don't have a lot of, and I don't just mean internally, yes, it's a small space to work in, but I mean in terms of refrigeration, in terms of water storage. Most of these trucks at most will be able to handle about 50 gallons of water, and you have to use all of that water to wash everything and keep the place clean. So that just creates another element of consideration when you're running your business day to day. The next thing that I would say is not so positive with these trucks is that they oftentimes have mechanical issues. Most of these trucks that are rolling around town, unless for whatever reason you are fortunate enough to find a newer truck, they're pretty old. And so that means that they might have old wiring, and they might have shoddy plumbing. Their refrigeration can go bad. I've experienced all of these things. Generator can go out, and when your refrigeration breaks down, one, not only can you not serve your customers for that day, but two, you might have a lot of things that you prep that might also go bad. So that's a lot of labor and time that you spent, and 9 times out of 10, the leasing company is not going to reimburse you for those things. Maybe you guys create an arrangement where they do, in which case, great, but it still creates a challenge for your business and inconsistency with your customers and with your staff, and so that becomes another challenge. The next thing to think about is you are literally driving a restaurant on wheels. So sometimes navigating a city or any environment for that matter with a vehicle that big can be a challenge. If you're in a more densely populated area, it becomes more of a challenge than if you're not. But I remember many occasions actually hitting potholes and having the refrigerator doors fly open and juice spill and glass break and all of these things. So you have to make sure if you are going to go this route that everything is secure on the vehicle and you have refrigerator doors with latches on them, or they're vacuum sealed tight. So that's another thing to think about. So the next thing to think about is your fixed expenses. The truth is that they can be quite expensive on a regular basis. So you have your fixed costs, things like your rent, your gas, your commissary expense. So I just want to break down some of these costs for you. Normally, from my experience, your monthly truck rental is going to be anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000, give or take. And then you have to put your truck in a commissary in the evening. If you don't know what a commissary is, it's a place where you'll hook your truck up to water, you'll plug it in so that when the generator's not running and the engine's off, that the refrigeration is hooked up to electrical so things don't go bad. And then you also can clean your vehicle there as well. And that is going to normally run, once again, around $1,000, give or take. So that's another expense. The next thing you want to think about is gas. Is these vehicles, they don't get a lot of fuel economy, so they're not that economical in terms of how much you're going to spend. And I remember spending somewhere around $600 a month in gas, and sometimes up to $1,000. So depending on how much driving you're doing, that's going to cost you more or less. And then lastly, depending on where you are in the world, you may end up getting parking tickets based on where you're parking. For us, we were parked in a city, we were in Los Angeles, and we were getting tickets for $60 every other day to every third day. So in general, you are talking about an expense, consistent cost that could be around $4,000 a month, give or take. It's going to depend on your situation, but just to put that in perspective, when you're renting, when you have a storefront, that can get you a decent size space. Now, obviously, getting into a storefront costs a lot more, so it's a different situation, which is what will kind of transition us into the conversation of what are some of the benefits of having a food truck or juice truck. One of the major benefits, and the reason that I got into it, like I'm sure many of you are considering, is just the cost of entry. It's usually a pretty cheap business to start. I personally started my juice truck business for $30,000. The next thing to consider, which is a major benefit, is that it's flexible. You are mobile, so if you end up in a location that is not going really well, you can move. One of the things too is that if you're considering opening a store eventually, this could be a good way to approach testing your market, because if you find a location that really, really works and you like the area, you make friends with the people in the area, they become your customers. By the time you might open a store in that neighborhood, people are primed and they're ready to give you their business. So the next major benefit is it's a moving billboard. It's really great if you want to advertise other services, whether you have catering services, or maybe you have a product that you've developed that is related to your juice business that you want to sell, or if you have a store, eventually actually having the truck is great because it will raise awareness about your other location or locations. And then the final benefit that I would say that I've experienced is that it's really novel. Having a juice truck, for whatever reason, people just love the idea of it. So it charms people. It's new. It's something that people don't normally experience. And so this just creates a good feeling for your customers overall. So as you continue to expand your business as well, they will support you. Not just because you have a truck. Obviously, you have to have a good product and you have to have good customer service. But at the end of the day, people like to feel connected to the places that they give their business. They want to feel that the people who run these companies are human. And oftentimes, if you're a part of a big chain restaurant or something else, customers don't feel connected to the business owners as much. Whereas a juice truck or any other food truck, people feel really connected to the business owners because it's a humble way to start a business. And so that, once again, like I said, it creates a good feeling in your clientele that will hopefully persist throughout the life of your company if you continue to grow. So that's it. If you guys have any questions in regards to this business model, put them in the comments below, or you can email me directly at andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. Something that I also wanted to mention, I actually created a whole e-course with 10 videos on how to start a juice truck business, and I haven't actually formally released this course, but what I want to offer all of you out there is, if you purchase the actual e-course for how to start a juice bar, I'm just going to throw in the how to start a juice truck course for free. Just send me an email and let me know that you're interested, and I'll link you to all the private videos. So that's all for now. Wishing you guys well and much success in all of your endeavors. This is Andrew McFarland from StartAJuiceBar.com, and I will see you all very soon.